I told our guys I thought that was just a good blue collar win tonight. Obviously, offensively, we weren't explosive, but we did just enough to win. And our pitching and defense was excellent, and that carried the night.
All right, open questions start with Michael Wimmer.
Hey, Mark. Looking at Thomas Farr tonight, first couple innings seemed like he was pretty pinpoint with his command, his fastball. Maybe seemed like he lost it a little bit in the middle innings, but he battled through. I mean, what did you think of his outing tonight and just the adjustments that he made?
Yeah, very, very workmanlike. Very workmanlike. I agree. I think once he got up into the 80s on a cold night, it just wasn't quite as sharp. He was very sharp early on, and then once his pitch count got up and there was some lulls in the game that made it seem even longer. And with the cold weather, I just think that's what you can attribute that to there at the very end. And obviously Peters and Mahoney came in and really picked him up as well. So pitching and defense was outstanding tonight.
Colin?
Yeah, Mark, I think you guys struck out 11 to only 4 walks, really filled up the strike zone, especially Andy and Jack. Just what did you see from your pitching staff as a whole? And is this the kind of group you think they'd be in terms of guys that can fill up the zone and not walk as many guys?
Yeah, that's the key. We have a lot of guys with great stuff. So the separator is going to be who throws the most strikes and who can make the big pitch, in big situations. And Andy Peters has done a tremendous job with that so far this year. His stuff is great. His command is great. So he's become a very key guy for us. And Mahoney coming in there at the end, just attacked the zone with a 93, 94 mile an hour sinking fastball. So again, we want to put these guys in situations to be successful and not ask them to do too much. And so far, that's exactly what's happening.
John?
What was your view of the fair foul call on the home run, and how big of a moment would that have been in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great view of it right down the line. You could see it curling foul. And then when they called it fair, I mean, we all kind of looked at each other in shock. It was for me, it was clearly foul. And then when I went out there after they had called it fair, I went to the home plate umpire and I said, you had to see that the same as I did. We have the same view here. And so you knew at some point it would go to video review. What my request is if you have the ability to overrule before you go to review, we need to do that because that ball was clearly foul. And I didn't want it to go to review and them say, hey, we just didn't get a camera angle. So we have to lean on what call was on the field. So that's why I thought it was very important to try to get them to talk before they went to video and get the call right, just in case there wasn't a video look at it.
Michael?
Did they actually change the call on the field?
They did.
And do you think that would have been a turning point in the game? Or how
it would have made it a 4-3 game. Yeah, it would have made it a 4-3 game. It would have made it a closer game, but we still would have had the lead, and we still had Peters and Mahoney ready to come in at that point. So, I mean, it would have made it a different game, no question about it. But whether it would have changed the outcome, no one will ever know. But it would definitely have made it a tighter game.
Michael?
Wimmer with another home run tonight, second on the team behind Clark, which I don't know if he'll catch him, if anyone will catch him at this point. But just what do you think of Wimmer and his growth as an offensive player this year? And were you expecting him to hit for this kind of power, early in the year?
Yeah.
Especially?
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch players grow up and develop and get stronger and become better players. He's such a great athlete that you thought if he gets stronger and he starts to mature and he learns the game at an even better level than he did coming in, you thought this kid could turn into a really nice player, and he's doing that right in front of our eyes. So power wise, no, you didn't expect him to hit this kind of power yet because he's a 6'4" runner in the 60s. So, he's a guy that could be eventually a 5-tool player, and, he's a fun guy to watch right now. No question.
Colin?
Mark, 2 questions for you. First off, Andreister obviously gets a full count, I think single to driving a run and then doubles another time. I know he's a good hitter and he came into the season a good hitter, but what's that say about his maturation process where he's kind of able to do a little bit of everything from the offensive side of things?
Yeah, he's just a guy you like seeing up at the plate in the big situations. He's been there, done that. He'll fight. If he gets a mistake early in the count, he can really drive it. And if he falls behind in the count, he's figured out how to really battle with 2 strikes better than he ever has before. So it's just you're watching again the evolution of a hitter as he gets older and smarter and stronger and better. This is a game where the more you play, the better you get, and he's got a lot of at-bats under his belt.
And I think Brennan left the game late. Was that injury related or was that just coach's decision?
That was just the coach's decision.